Hey, Battle Bill, here with another video, getting some more Fossil Cup Go Battle League battles, and in today's video we have a submission from a fellow PvPer of the community by the name of K-Sean, and he is featuring the Mon Shadow Gyarados in the Fossil Cup meta on this double water flying team comp. Now, he's a legend ranked battler. The elo that he's currently battling at is pretty close to legend elo, around 2795. He has quite the success with this team comp. I'm very excited to see how he uses it, how he plays around certain matchups, how he deals with that double weakness to electric, really quad weakness to electric in his back line with the Eskav in the lead. So without further ado, let's start shoutcasting the battles. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always, and don't forget the videos are going to always be a mixture. I'm going to still shoutcast pretty consistently, and I'm also going to get out the live battle, so by all means tune into whichever format of video you enjoy. Either way, let's get into this right now. He's got a pretty good matchup, and apparently he's going up against a Quagsire running Water Gun. That is an interesting fast move option for your Quaggy in the Fossil Cup meta, and right now he is either going to let this come through, ends up being a Mud Bomb. Huge call because Quagsire could build all the way up to the Stone Edge and one-shot the Palper's remaining health. I don't remember everything else that happened in that match, but it worked out, and he got his point at the top left, so GG's. Getting to the next one. Really bad lead, safe swapping the Shadow Gyarados. I like it a lot. He's built up to a crunch. He's throwing it at the Kingdra. It gets the shield and the defense buff, which is huge. Fully expecting an Octazooka to come through from the Kingdra's end. Will it get the coin flip debuff? It does, but he's still able to Dragon Breath all the way down to take out the opponent's opposing Kingdra and end up winning switch, which is huge. The Shadow Mawile comes back in. He's going for an Aqua Tail. Will this threaten the opponent's last shield? It does not. It does a decent amount of chip damage at that neutral typing. Comes in with the Pelipper now that he's got the Fire Fame Mawile off of his Escavalier. This is a much better matchup, and this is feeling like a winnable match because of it. The last Mon ends up being a Whiscash, and that is GG. Opponent is top lefting. Moving on to the next match. Flipping switch there was crucial. Save swap Shadow Gyarados popping off. Getting to the next match, we have Eskav on a Lucario lead. Very good lead also for his Eskav. The opponent's throwing Pup right away, not even trying to build up to the nuke move. He was attempting to go for a counter down, decided to save that energy, didn't want to take the chance of potentially simultaneously KOing, and then snipes with his Gyarados, but unfortunately his Gyarados is getting met by a Lantern.
No, God! No, God!
You hate that for his Gyarados. The Lantern's going to be able to spark all the way down. Will he be able to play out of this? The opponent makes quite the swap and the catch on their Shadow Sharpedo, and they catch an Acid Spray that they shielded. The one countered an insane amount of damage. Apparently a Sharpedo's running Bite. I don't understand why. Regardless, the Sharpedo has now disappeared. Pelipper's going to go for the sweep. Can Pelipper be a Lantern counter confirm? He's going to have to use up his shields here. Will Pelipper come through in the end game of this match using his second shield? The Lantern is the only Mon still alive. Will Pelipper do it? It's getting the Weather Ball off, and it's going to take out the Lantern's remaining health and win this match. Oh, the wing attack had to survive the spark while we're at it. Getting to the next match, bad lead, Eskav on Pelipper, save swapping Shadow Gyarados, gets matched by a Registeel. Not great alignment for the Shadow Gary. Maybe wanted to go for Crunch for potential debuff, but throws Aqua Tail immediately. Also has to worry about Registeel getting to their own Zap Cannon with their own debuff ability because of, the fact that could debuff attack, which it's done right there. Builds all the way up to the Crunch this time, throwing the Aqua Tail. Can the Gyarados commit to shielding here and flipping switch? It's certainly feeling like it. He decides to overfarm past his Aqua Tail, knowing he needs a flip switch in order to potentially win this match. So he's saving that energy, gets double debuffed, unfortunately, but is going to be able to Dragon Breath down the Registeel completely. Now, the Gyarados' attack is double debuffed, but he's still going for these neutral crunches. Will they threaten a shield? Will they get a debuff of their own? They did get a defense debuff, which is huge. Will a Weather Ball from the Pelipper take out the Shadow Gary? It does not, and the Gyarados just barely hangs on to get another crunch off. Will this get a shield? Will this take out the Pelipper? It gets a shield. Switch is flipped. Not a bad circumstance to be in. Pelipper is in a great endgame scenario because the opponent's last Mon is going to be a Quagsire. K-Sean comes in with his Eskav, though, trying to do whatever chip damage Eskav is capable of doing here, considering the circumstances. And Eskav's not going to do too bad. It gets the last shield. It eats a Stone Edge. Will get another charge move off before the Quack throws a Mud Bomb. No, it will not. So we're looking for an end game of a Pelipper sweep. Will Pelipper be able to pull this off? Has to worry about eating a Stone Edge. Will get to the Weather Ball in time. He's over farming. Decides that he's going to let this charge move come through ends up being a Stone Edge, but it's not a Shadow Quag, so the Pelipper survives with a sliver of health, getting off his own Weather Ball here onto the opposing Pelipper. Unfortunately, not enough chip damage, and is going to lose this match. Not a great endgame scenario, not a great lead or swap situation. Pelipper did its best to potentially endgame clutch it, but was not able to. Positively in this next match, the opponent swaps and save swaps in their Jellicent. He's staying in with Eskav, going to probably want to get out because this is not a great matchup for his Eskav. Lands a Drill Run though, which is huge. Save swaps his Shadow Gary to match the Jellicent. Shields the Shadow Ball last second, going for potential Dragon Breath down, no, throwing the Aqua Tail so that he doesn't have to use another shield before the Jellicent gets off another move. It gets a shield, which is huge. Kayshawn's going to definitely want to use his last shield here so he can keep alignment and also get some farm with his Gyarados. Even though he's at a shield disadvantage, the Registeel is going to have to throw a move because Registeel does not have a great attack pressuring fast move to threaten potential farm downs. So he gets off a crunch there. The Registeel gets to a move. It's going to be a Focus Blast. The opponent is trying to make a top tier play here by throwing the Focus Blast, not taking out the Gyarados to get some farm. Huge play. Opponent then comes in with Swampert to Mud Shot. Double resist Mud Shot the Gyarados down to get some additional energy, but Kayshawn's going to match the Swampert with a Pelipper. This is not a good matchup for Swampy. Wants to have Sludge Wave here, does not have Sludge Wave here. Going to throw some Hydro Cannons. Pelipper can eat a couple. Pelipper makes Hydro Cannon look like a mid move. Obviously, Hydro Cannon, very good move, but Pelipper, you know, with its tankiness and resisting is clutch here. Getting off the Weather Ball, gets the opponent's last shield. The Swampert gets to another charge move, going to be a Hydro Cannon. This will take out the Pelipper. Going to come in with Eskav, potentially to counter down the Swampert, but the opponent pivots, gets to the Drill Run just in time to take out the Registeel's remaining health. Swampert's not going to be able to do anything because it is energy dry, and it gets countered down. What a clutch endgame situation with Eskav there. Getting to the next match, what doesn't look like a great lead with Eskav on Quagsire there. Save swaps, Shadow Gary gets matched by a Berserker. Aqua Tail doing an insane amount of damage. Will the Berserker get the two moves? Will Kayshawn have to use both shields? He opts to not use either shield, fully expecting the Berserker to get to two moves here. So he now comes in with his Eskav, gets the counter down. Berserker did not get off another move there, but it's different circumstances because obviously Eskav was dealing super effective counters, whereas Gyarados had the resisted Dragon Breath hitting the Steel type. But regardless, even though he doesn't get Switch, this could be a better situation for him because Eskav was able to farm, get some energy to deal to the Quaggy. Now comes in with his Pelipper. Ace is going to be a Stone Edge. He's throwing up the shield, has to respect it. Unfortunately gets baited. Will he still be able to play out of this considering the circumstance? This is committing to a wing attack farm down. The last move ends up being a Stone Edge, which is unfortunate because he holds on to a shield, but Pelipper got a boatload of farm there that is going to spam on the Lucario. Will the Pelipper be able to get off 3 Weather Balls or at least threaten the shield so that Eskav can come in and clutch endgame scenario? Pelipper gets countered down. Will Escavalier get to the Drill Run in time? It's not looking like it has enough health. Has to shield up here. Ends up being a pup. This will definitely do enough counter damage, and Eskav just barely falls short and loses that match. Moving on to the next one here, we have Eskav on a Shadow Mawile lead. Really bad lead circumstance here. Needs to save swap into Shadow Gyarados. Getting met up with some more D-Gen team compage with Razor Leaf Kartana matching his Shadow Gyarados save swap. Was able to at least threaten the shields. Can come in with his Eskav and not shield any of this. Commit to a counter down. This farm and shield advantage, not too bad. Damn, that Night Slash hits hard. The Mawile fully expecting to come back in, but no, didn't get enough farm to get off the Drill Run to potentially take out the Mawile or get the last shield. Will Pelipper be able to clutch this? Oh no, shields the pup. Super unfortunate, going for a huge overfarm here, built up to more than 2 Weather Balls. Will this get the opponent's last shield or take out the Mawile? It almost takes out. They come in with a Ferrothorn. Can Pelipper pull this off with its excess of additional energy? Going for the Hurricane here. Bang! Lands a Hurricane. Will that be enough? Now with the wing attacks to double Weather Ball and take out the Ferrothorn. Getting off one of those Weather Balls here gets the opponent's remaining shield. Charge move coming through. Kayshawn's shielding up with this Pelipper. Ends up being a Power Whip. Will Pelipper outpace? It just barely does on the CMP tie. That's huge. Weather Ball will take out the Ferrothorn. The Mawile will come in. It does not get wing attack down yet. It gets a charge move off. Will it be a pup? Ends up only being a resisted fighting move of pup. Pelipper is able to clutch up. What a final match. Well, I thought it was a final match. Apparently I have one more, but what a goddamn match in general for Pelipper. What an endgame scenario. Getting to the next one, bad lead, safe swapping Gyarados into Registeel. Well, safe swapping Gyarados gets met by Registeel. I really thought that last match was the last match. Well, man, we got one more here. My fault completely. Either way, we got the Gyarados Registeel situation one more time. Shields a Focus Blast. Little unfortunate, but that is all that Registeel will need to take out the Gyarados. Gonna have to Aqua Tail here. Is at a shield disadvantage. Not gonna be able to Dragon Breath down. Definitely wants to flip switch though because of the Pelipper. Pelipper comes back in pretty low on health. They stay in for a lot of the Dragon Breaths when you save swap Gyarados. Must have. Unfortunately, the Gyarados dies to the Weather Ball that comes through because Kayshawn had quite a bit of energy on his Shadow Gary. That would have been super helpful against the Pelipper there. But their last Mon ends up being a Mud Boy. I'm assuming Quag. It's a Swampert, and this seems like a very positive situation for Kayshawn considering the starting circumstances. Swampert getting to a charge move here is an Earthquake. Not good at all. I thought that Eskav would have held on with a little bit of HP. We need another Pelipper clutch endgame scenario. Shadow Gyarados has been such a great safe swap to lure out and bait out the real hard counters to the water flying typing so that Pelipper can essentially, you know, reign supreme and run loose on potential back lines. But I don't think Pelipper is going to have enough health here to pull this one off. Maybe I'm wrong. Weather Ball coming through should take out the remaining health of the opposing Pelipper. The Swampert comes back in. Doesn't have the Hydro Cannon. Pelipper Weather Ball going to do enough damage. Bang! Another super clutch endgame scenario. Highly recommend this team. Really like the double water flying comp here. Kayshawn, thank you so much for the submission. But the general logic, as I kind of summarized there, is safe swap Shadow Gary, lure out the counter for Pelipper because they're both water flying types, and most people are not running double water flying counters. So Pelipper really puts in some work in this Fossil Cup meta. But on that note, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the video as always and the battles. And yeah, Kayshawn, appreciate you for the submission. If you want to submit your battles and would like me to shoutcast them, especially some really exciting ones there, the link to that is in the description of this YouTube video. But on that note, again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.